YouTube? How y'all feeling tonight? I'm on my way to work, and I decided that I wanted to do a little video real quick while I'm on my way. Just to give, just not even an opinion. It's just basically just some thoughts on what I came across earlier today. So I'm, on YouTube, and I'm scrolling these YouTube streets, and I came across a live, and it's not from someone that I'm subscribed to, or that I even really heard of. I think I might have seen this person in a comment section on somebody else's page, a while ago or whatever, but not a channel that I follow. So I said, let me go on here and see what they talking about. So one of the things that they were talking about, obviously it's a group of women that are not fans of male and do not like male, which is fine. Everyone is not for everybody, so I don't have a problem with that. So one of the things that they were talking about is when I got in there, they were talking about the millimeters coming for Stormy's business and making accusations of private labeling and white labeling or what have you. So I'm just listening, and basically they're in there saying like, this just came out of nowhere, like why are they doing this? So of course I jumped in the comments, and I'm like, you're saying that Melody and her fans are coming for Stormy's business. So I told them, I said, I don't know how this chat came down my timeline, but I have a question. Do you guys find it disparaging for Stormy to insinuate that Melody was private labeling or white labeling her sugar mama line when she dropped that? Like, how do y'all feel about that? So, it was somebody in the comments that, was like, real smart about it. Well, we don't care about that. She said, we don't care about that. Melody been copying Stormy from day one all the way down to getting her a G-Wagon, and she couldn't get a special something crazy. Well, obviously you don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm just sitting there and I'm listening. So then they got into prayers for Martel, because he's allegedly, having some mental issues and has been 5150 or whatever. And blaming that on Melody and the millimeters, saying that because of all of what they've done to him, he basically lost his mind. And so I'm sitting, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So I'm like, as far as Martel is concerned, I can't make myself, if what they're saying about him is true, about him being in a mental facility or whatever, I can't make myself feel sorry for him, because I watched since season 1 how this man has treated this woman, and since before the divorce and after the divorce, especially after everything that he did. And any hardships that Martel is going through, in my opinion, he brought on himself. because had he accepted the divorce from Melody, accepted or took accountability for his actions, which ultimately led to the demise of his divorce, you know, then he would have been able to better co-parent. He wouldn't have been out here scheming on how he was going to get in Melody's pockets. He wouldn't have been out here bashing her and what's the word that they use for what most narcissists do once you separate from them. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It'll come to me. But he wouldn't have been doing none of that. He would have accepted and took accountability, co-parented like he had some sense, not been trying to control his ex-wife, and moved accordingly, and it would have been a better situation for everyone. But no, he made it his business to make Melody's life a living hell because she decided to divorce him. Like he actually thought that he was entitled to cheat on his wife for as long as he needed to. Like, and I don't get that. I don't get where any person think that they have the right to mistreat a person and they're just supposed to accept it, and that's husband or not. So anyway, it was so much going on this live panel, and the things that I was hearing that I could not believe it. So that was one of the things I said to that. You know, Martel brought this shit on his own. All he had to do was just accept what happened and move on. So then, they're like, well, Melody needs to take accountability and making it, and like she's a demon and all this stuff. So I'm sitting there asking them to explain to me. I said, every time I come across somebody that says these things about Melody, I ask, what has she done? And I have yet to receive a coherent explanation as to why she is the bad person. Nobody can ever say like what she has done to for them to really dislike her. If you dislike a person, you should be able to say why you dislike a person. I have yet to have anyone that says that they dislike Melody explain why they don't like her. That is so weird to me. So then they were saying, well, you know, she's putting it out there like he was the abusive one, but then we see video of her hitting and beating on him. And I'm like, lady, like, what selective part of this whole situation are you watching? And I said, wow. I said, this is a shame. A bunch of women that sit back and watch a man mentally and emotionally abuse his wife, and when she reacts, she's the blame. So then I asked, as women, can we really sit up here and say that we never reacted from being hurt by a man? In some form or fashion, like, it's called reactive abuse. When a person does so much to you, then you start reacting and you start doing shit yourself. I was mind blown by the ignorance of it all. And it wasn't just ignorance. It was willful ignorance. A bunch of Pickmes. I said, oh my goodness, what in the world is going on? So then I started thinking to myself that these are what sound to me to be like older women. So they come from a different, like, time than I do or that I did, where women tolerated and put up with a lot more than today's women do from men. And that's what I basically got from it. And listen, there was a lot of pick-me ass women back in the days. Like, you know, a lot of women, they stuck with their husbands when they had other families on them and cheated for years and all that. So, that's what it boils down to. But yeah, like, that's my question though. It's like, every time I ask the question, what has Melody done for people to dislike her so much? I never get an answer. I was like, y'all want her to be accountable. Accountable for what? And then people are still, after 4 years of divorce, saying, well, she knew for all those years that he was cheating, and she still stuck around. Okay. Like, what are you saying by saying that? Even if you feel like she should have been left, the truth of the matter is, she left and has moved on with her life and is doing great things with her life. So why can't he? Why hasn't he moved on? It's basically like victim blaming in a sense, because it's like, okay, so because she stuck around for longer than you said you would have, now what? Well, if she stuck around that long, she should have just stuck it out. She should still. I don't understand like what they're saying by saying that. Is that their way of excusing Martel's behavior, his post-divorce behavior? Like, I don't get it. And so I'm just sitting there like listening, and I'm really, because I consider myself to be a fair person when it comes to taking in other people's point of view and opinions, because that's, you know, I can learn from that. It's not all about how I see things. So I'm sitting there listening, really trying to get into the mind of these women and what they're saying and trying to make it make sense. But absolutely nothing of what they were saying made a drop of sense to me. I really was mind blown. And usually when I'm engaged in any type of debate or conversation where there's an opposite of opinion, even though I may not fully agree with someone, I'm still able to understand a part of what their opinion is. I'm still able to see where they're coming from. But when I'm sitting here listening to a bunch of women do all this talking and I can't take anything away from it, like, listen, something is seriously wrong. I mean, I could not. I'm like, and I'm asking them in the chat, I'm like, they're like, well, now we're really just seeing who she is. And I'm like, who is she? Like, tell me, who is she? And they just skirted around the question. And I'm genuinely asking, like, I really, really want to know. And I just couldn't take anything away from it. And it got to the point where I just had to click off. I stuck around for maybe about 20 minutes. 20, 30 minutes. Just trying to get something out of it. And like I said in the chat, I said Melody is not perfect. You know what I mean? But nobody is. And then another thing that they kept doing that was annoying the shit out of me is saying, well, for the kids, you know, prayers for Martel for the kids, and a whole bunch of different stuff where they was saying for the kids that it didn't make sense. And I did say, you know, I said, oh well, you know what I mean? Like, a person does not have to sit around and continue to be disrespected for the sake of the kids, because they were sitting there trying to insinuate and make excuses for Martel cheating and basically saying that, you know, he made a mistake. Well, no, he didn't make a mistake. He made a choice. After the first time, I'll even give him the second time of sleeping with somebody outside of his marriage. You know, that may have been a mistake. But when you continuously, for years, carry on with a whole nother relationship, at that point, you made a choice. A selfish choice. And that man actually thought that Melody was going to sit there and for the rest of her life accept his shenanigans. And when she didn't, that's when he went smear campaign. That's the word that I was looking for earlier. That's when he went on his smear campaign. Instead of being a grown man, accepting his faults and taking accountability for the demise of his marriage and making the best out of the situation from being separated from his family, you know, he went the opposite way. And I've always thought to myself that Martel is unable to accept accountability for the demise of his marriage, because if he did, that would be his undoing. And that might just be what sent his ass to where he's at right now, allegedly, if he's there. You know, a little bit of accountability might have creeped in and he just had a mental breakdown. I don't know. But, you know, I can't feel sorry for him. I'm sorry. And it's hard for me to even say anything like that, because, like, the worst people, I can find it in my heart to have, you know, I don't want to see anybody, well, no, I'm not even going to say that. But for the most part, I can have empathy, you know, for other people and their plights or whatever. But, yeah, I don't feel sorry for Martel, not one single bit. That man did all this on his own. I can see if the shoe was on the other foot, where, you know, the roles were reversed, where Melody was doing all that shit to him that he was doing to her, and she was the cause of the demise of their family. The same way that I would have sympathy, the same way I have empathy for her, if the roles were reversed, I would have empathy for him. But we've all seen that he is the perpetrator in all of this. And that's one thing that I did not get with these group of women. It's like, what the fuck are y'all watching? What part of all of this are y'all selectively taking in? Y'all could not have possibly watched the show from season 1 to current, or been paying attention to everything that's been going on social media. There's no way in the world that any woman on this planet, unless you are indeed a hater, that could have watched and seen everything that's been going on from day one with this whole thing and be on the side of Martel. Like, please. But anyway, yeah, if anybody can tell me what has Melody done to have that sector of, you know, YouTube and any other place that just blames her and faults her for everything, what she has done so bad for a dislike, please let me know. Because I'll tell you like this, I haven't seen anything except for recently. Something did happen. Now, I've been asking this question for years and I haven't seen anything. But there was something recently that Melody did that I did not like at all. I did not like it. That don't change me liking her. But she did do something that I did not like. And I did not like very strongly. I didn't like it. Which is she was on live. I seen this on another content creator's page where she was on live and she was talking about, she was with Lauren and she was talking about they a homeless guy had came up to them and asked her for money for a pizza, or because she bought him a pizza or something like that. And, you know, instead of her, you know, because she has the right to say yes or no. Yes or no would have been a feasible answer either way it went. But instead, she gave this man the third degree, asking this man all these damn questions. Now, to somebody else, that may not have been a big deal. But to me, I felt some type of way about it. You know what I mean? Especially with the line of questioning that she did, that she all the questions that she said she asked them. And because I'm thinking to myself, what does any of this shit got to do with whether you gonna help this man get a meal or not? It's either yes or no. And if you're gonna give it to him and send him on his journey. You know what I mean? Like, why are you sitting there grilling this man like this? Like, I did not like that shit. I did not like that shit, not one bit. And I'm gonna tell you, I almost did a video about it because I was pissed off. I did not like that shit at all. And I don't know why I felt so strongly about it. It's because, you know, when I'm out and about and a homeless or disadvantaged person, you know, asks me for anything, if I got it to give and I decide to give it to him, you know, I'll give it to him, and that's just how you move. You don't sit there and badger nobody. Like, that just was wrong to me. I did not like that shit at all. And I didn't understand it. I was really sitting there trying to figure out her mental for that. Where you come from, what is your plans, and like, girl, is you gonna get a man a fucking pizza or not? Like, I'm telling you, that shit pissed me off. I was mad. You sitting there asking this man to give you a whole dissertation just for you to give him a couple dollars for a meal, man, I ain't like that. But like I said, that still don't change my support for her. I still love her. You know what I mean? She does do a lot, you know what I mean, with her giveaways and stuff like that or whatever. But that particular situation right there left a very bad taste in my mouth and had me side-eyeing the shit out of her. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about them Pickme that I came across today on an accident. I didn't go looking for that shit. But, you know, I jumped on and ended up going down a rabbit hole of some shit that I was trying to take something away from, but I just couldn't. I was really, really stuck. I was stuck on stupid because what I was listening to was a bunch of nonsense. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, that's my little rant for now. I'm about to go in here and clock in soon. I got a few more minutes before I have to clock in. But yeah, I hope everybody have a good night. And do me a favor, y'all. If y'all do happen to come across my video, you know what I mean, at least like it or something. You know what I mean? so I can get it out there just a little bit. I'm not trying to blow up overnight or nothing like that. I'm still rough around the edges. I'm thinking about reaching out to the Silva to see if I can get any nuggets from her on how to really get my channel popping or whatever. But anyway, you guys have a good night, and y'all take care and be safe.